I don't know if you could tell, but I am very excited for this game. Insomniac's first Spider-Man game was such a refreshing mainstream take on the character. Miles Morales was a little short, but it was still a great spinoff. And even though I am kind of disappointed that Spider-Man 2 never ended up getting a DLC, after seeing some of the gameplay from Wolverine, I completely understand why Insomniac wanted to focus more on this. In a day and age where superhero games get announced and canceled left and right, I'm just glad that this is actually coming out. Seriously, whatever happened to that Black Panther and Captain America game? The Blade game certainly isn't breaking the curse that character seems to have. And I know that The Last Ronin is with Platinum Games now, and that's probably the best thing that could happen to that game, but don't give me hope. We've still got to wait until September for this game to come out, so like I did with Lego Batman back when I started my channel, I'm gonna go through everything that we know about the game so far, and then talk about some stuff that I want to see. I got really excited to use this tiny microphone with a magnet on it on my Wolverine claws, but they're aluminum, and I can't do that, so there goes that cool idea. Anyway, we're gonna start by taking a look at the gameplay trailer that was released back at State of Play.
Killing is not the X-Men's way.
Alright, so it starts out with our boy picking up a lock of red hair. And right here is where I think some sort of puzzle will be. He's like turning into the camera because he's gonna be holding this pose for a minute, and then like there's the smallest of cuts right here. And this will probably just end up being another Insomniac DNA match puzzle. And it seems like Wolverine's scent is gonna be this game's version of the spider sense.
Redhead.
Did you really need your super senses to figure that out, man? I could have told you that. But is the redhead Jean Grey? Is it Mystique? Guess we'll have to wait and see. Why do the henchman voice actors always gotta give 110%? Now I'm gonna feel bad when I'm separating your skull from your spine. More Reavers try to stop Wolverine, but they're about as effective as you'd imagine. We hear somebody call out for help, and it's revealed that the reason that we're storming this camp is because Trask Industries is kidnapping mutant children. Who could have seen this coming? Because this is a video game, we slice a support beam to take out the bridge before they can get on the ship, slice up some more of the Reavers, but before we can get to this last guy, Jean and Wolverine get a couple of awesome looking double takedowns, and I love that there's just a hunk of Wolverine's back missing throughout most of the sequence. Attacking a few more Reavers fills up this meter, and after activating, we get our first taste of the rage system that this game will be using. Which from the looks of it just lets you one-shot everybody, but we get some more cool takedown animations here. A few of the Reavers actually managed to get away, and I'm sorry, what follows is the most 2000s movie cliche scene that I have ever seen in my life. Yes, I'm calling it corny, and yes, I still love it. But we do get this short motorcycle section, and I'm sure that this won't be the only time that we use a motorcycle in this game. But of course, this is a Wolverine game, and the main thing that I was really wondering with this game was how they were going to adapt Wolverine's healing factor. Because obviously that's a huge part of what makes this character special, and it's also something that actually makes a lot of sense in the context of a video game. But at the same time, it can't be like a constant, always healing thing, because then the Trask Industry guys wouldn't really feel that threatening. I really couldn't think of a way to make it work and still have stakes for the player, but it was a lot more simple than I thought. You just button mash and grow your skin back. But after this, Wolverine realizes that he is standing on a bunch of metal pipes in a video game. Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen to that string that's holding them all up. Yeah, sure. Okay, man. Wolverine finally makes it to the truck. Oh, hello, Skullbuster. Goodbye, Skullbuster. This is where we actually get a good look at the mutants that we're trying to save. We got our boy Leech, the go-to mutant child in distress, but we can also see Toad, Caliban, Skids, Anna Lee, Nature Girl, and Callisto. Yep, we got a makeshift version of the Morlocks right here. Can't wait to see if they're going to be playing a bigger role in the game's story. We then get the most Wolverine line you have ever heard in your life.
Are you a superhero?
Look, kid. I'm Wolverine.
And then we get back into normal trailer mode. We get a quick shot of the patch skin. We see who I believe is Logan. This is very obviously from the Tokyo section of the game, which we also get to see a short clip of. And if we are going to be spending a lot of time in Tokyo, maybe we could end up seeing a Silver Samurai, one that's an actual mutant and not just a mech suit. We get this shot that I am just in love with. The two sticks making an X with the cowl on top really makes me think of the crucified Uncanny X-Men cover. This shot of Logan bathed in blue light really gives me those memory graveyard vibes. I'm thinking this is some sort of flashback, and knowing Wolverine, it's probably not a happy childhood memory. We get some more quick looks at Omega Red and Mystique, which is followed by this smaller human-sized Sentinel. I'm hoping that this is more of a mini boss fight than just like being another brute. We then get a look at the brown and yellow suit, and I got really excited for a second because I thought that this was Insomniac's version of Deadpool. But no, look at his shoulder, it's just some random ninja from the hand. We can see some more hand ninjas escaping later in the trailer, but they fucking knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Look at this shit. The trailer ends with a quick look at Sabretooth and one more quick action pose moment for Wolverine. But now that we've gotten a proper look at the gameplay, let's take a look at the wider story. The actual story of this game will, of course, follow Wolverine, coming out of retirement after spending 3 years away from the mutant task force Team X, not the X-Men. We'll talk more about that in a second. But as we've seen, he is coming out of retirement because Trask Industries is kidnapping mutants. In order to act this regime, Trask is using both the Reavers and, of course, the Sentinels. And this will be most of the enemy types that we see throughout the game. We've seen some quick looks at the Omega Red boss fight, and I am assuming that we will also be getting one for Sabretooth. But the one that I'm the most excited about is definitely this giant Sentinel. I'm hoping this is a full-on Kratos running up the arm of Kronos boss fight. But this mission to save the mutants will take us across the globe. The confirmed locations so far are, of course, Tokyo, but we will also be visiting Canada and Mandrapore. Along the way, we will also be teaming up with other mutants. We've already seen what a Jean Grey and Wolverine team up looks like, but we will also be fighting alongside Mystique, and after seeing some of the Jean Grey and Wolverine double takedowns, I cannot wait for the bloodbath that Sabretooth and Wolverine are gonna give us. As I said, Wolverine was a member of Team X, not the X-Men, because the X-Men do not exist in the Insomniac universe. This has kind of been the biggest thing of discourse about this game, and if I'm being honest, I don't really understand why. Yeah, it's kind of silly that the X-Men just aren't a thing, but that doesn't mean that they won't eventually be a thing. This was never gonna be an X-Men game. This was always a Wolverine game. We're gonna be seeing other X-Men characters, we're gonna see other mutants, but at the end of the day, the ones that are most prominent are gonna be the ones that are important to Wolverine's story. And it's not like Insomniac is gonna show us everything in the trailers. They're gonna save some stuff for the game. So it's entirely possible that we do see X-Men characters even if they don't call themselves the X-Men. But that's about it for the story of the game, and now I'm gonna talk about I want to fight Hulk. Please let me fight Hulk. This game's main difference from the Insomniac Spider-Man games is that rather than having it be an open world, Wolverine will be a linear story. And even though Wolverine is sharing a universe with those games, it's being said that Yuri Lowenthal's Spider-Man will not be making an appearance. Which does kind of suck. I really wanted him to show up. I know Peter's kind of taken some time away from Spider-Man right now, but come on, how long is that really gonna last? And even though the X-Men apparently don't exist, that doesn't mean that we won't be seeing more mutants. We've already gotten a quick look at the Morlocks, but I would love to see Colossus. I'm expecting a scene where I walk past a construction site and I just hear all the workers talking about the new hire. And I would also really like to see Insomniac's take on Deadpool, because that character is always so much fun when he's in a video game and, you know, making fun of the fact that he's in a video game. But the main thing that I really want from this game are an insane amount of suits for Wolverine. We've already gotten a look at the Insomniac original design, the brown and yellow suit, and the patch skin. If you pre-order the game, you can get 5 exclusive suits. The ones that really stand out to me are his first appearance and his Age of Apocalypse design. I am a little disappointed that skin doesn't have the giant mane of hair that design usually has, but I don't know, I'll take what I can get. And I do really like the Grant Morrison suit, but since that look was inspired by the suits that the X-Men wore in the Fox movies, it does kind of worry me that maybe those suits won't be appearing. And I know he never really had some amazing looks in those movies, and say what you will about them being embarrassed to embrace the comic costumes, but we shouldn't overlook them entirely. okay. Just give me the semi-okay one from Days of Future Past, and I'll be fine. The claws on the new X-Men suit look a little bit longer because there's also going to be a wide variety of different claws that we're going to be able to use. I feel like the bone claws are a given, but I would also love to see a version of the Gambit charged up claws, and maybe a version of the diamond claws that Diamond Patch has. And I do hope that the different colorways for skins that Spider-Man 2 had makes its way over to this game so that we can get Diamond Patch as a skin also. I would also want to see the suit from Deadpool and Wolverine. I do hope they do the design with the shoulder pads though, because that's the only thing that's really keeping that suit from being perfect. Speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, there was concept art released of a Wolverpool or a Deaderine or whatever you want to call this, but they ended up not including him in the big battle with all the different Deadpool variants at the end of that movie, so it'd be cool to see that as a skin in the game. And given that we're going to be fighting the Reavers throughout most of this game, we could end up seeing Donald Pierce make a version of Albert. But if we don't, it would be cool to get that as another suit design. A version of the adamantium armor would be cool to see. And I know I might lose some of you with this, but for some of the comic-inspired designs, I think it would be cool if they did something kind of similar to Fortnite, where you can like toggle on the pen and ink or just have it as the base model. Insomniac has done a really good job of incorporating Spider-Man's animated looks into the games, especially with the Spider-Verse skins sharing those movies' low frame rate, and I want them to do the same for Wolverine. With the recent popularity of X-Men 97, I feel like that design is a given, and I don't care if it's not realistic or if it makes cutscenes unserious, give me anime Wolverine. Marvel Rivals has these cool looks for Spider-Man and Venom for their Cosmic Invasion collab, and I would love something similar to that for Wolverine. And finally, I would love for them to somehow incorporate the low quality design from the X-Men Origins tie-in game. I never ended up playing that game, but I can always respect when a movie tie-in game actually tries to be a good video game. It's rare. Really rare, but it does happen. And if the X-Men don't exist, I'm not sure on whether or not we're gonna be seeing a version of Scott Summers, which I am a little disappointed about. Not because like I expected to be able to play as Cyclops or anything, but if they're bringing in Jean Grey, I really wanted to see Insomniac's take on that iconic love triangle. But at the same time, I get if they didn't want to do the expected or whatever. And because Insomniac had us play as other characters instead of Spider-Man, I wonder if we're gonna end up playing as other mutants, even if it's only for a little bit. Like instead of having MJ stealth missions, maybe we could have Mystique stealth missions, where you have to blend in and make your way through different Reavers hideouts. I've been replaying some of the Insomniac Spider-Man games, and the only thing that is really annoying when you're replaying those games is pretty much any section where you're not playing as Spider-Man. I mean, don't get me wrong, Coney Island is super fun, but I could be Spider-Man right now, and I'm not. And having it be a different character that actually has a different playstyle could make those sections a lot less boring on a replay. It would also be cool to maybe end up playing as Sabretooth. Like imagine getting halfway through a boss fight and then switching over to Sabretooth and having to fight Wolverine for the rest of the boss fight. Insomniac has done such an amazing job with their villains so far, so I can't wait to see what they end up doing with Sabretooth. I just hope he doesn't wish me a happy birthday. But that's about all I have to say about this game so far. According to a big data leak that happened at Insomniac a while ago, apparently they seem to be working on a Venom game, and that makes me think about what other Marvel characters Insomniac is gonna get their hands on. I would love a Spider-Man 2 style game for Nova, where you could play as both Richard Rider and Sam Alexander. I know that the Nova core isn't as popular as Wolverine and Spider-Man, but I just need something Nova after the show has paused development. Paused development, yeah, it's a nice way of saying canceled. That thing's not getting made. With the Baxter Building being a place that you can visit in Spider-Man 2, it would be fantastic to see a Fantastic Four game. Oh wait, no, what am I saying? Spider-Man, Wolverine? Now all they have to do is make a Ghost Rider game and a Grey Hulk game, and then Insomniac can give us the Fantastic Four that the fans have been waiting for.